Peace and love, everybody. This is Sister Nzinga with Flowing and Growing with Sister Nzinga. Out here on my piece of paradise. Yeah, y'all. Out here on my piece of paradise. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it out here. Actually, I spent the night out here last night. It was just so beautiful. And you go from at nighttime hearing the crickets at night and howling monkeys, and then wake up in the morning to singing birds. It's really nice being one with nature. It's a beautiful thing, really beautiful thing. So thank you everybody who has continued to love and share, care. Those have clicked that notification buzzer, and if you haven't yet, click that notification buzzer so you'll just automatically get a notice letting you know that I put up a new video. But thank you everybody for the love and support. So, we always talk about, I always talk about this thing, think it ain't illegal yet. Think it ain't illegal yet. I made this up a long time ago, and it's just so true that we must start thinking about our reality. Like, what's really in front of us? What is really in front of us? And start being able to analyze that things and make it our own. Because, we've been brought over here. We have this narrative that's been taught to us that, that we were brought over here as slaves, not as slaves. We were enslaved when we were brought here because we were living very rurally before we came over here. So when we were enslaved and brought over here to America, that's a story that we've been told, and pretty much everything that we know is basically pretty much what we've been told. And hope you can still be able to see this. Looks kind of dark to me. As what we've been told, and so in living that narrative, that means that we are going by somebody else's idea. We do not question things. We do not ask why. We just got to go along. So this narrative that we have been taught about us being brought over here as slaves and so forth, and you can see that whether what they have told us is really true or not. I don't think the whole scenario is true, but but you see for sure the way they treat us. They treat us like that we are somebody who was, less than a damn human, because they have just, oh my gosh, I don't want to even get into that whole scenario about what all these details are, but we know that. And then the other thing is that now we do know that all that scenario that they have told us is not totally true. So I want you to do some research on that and research about because many of us were already here. All of us did not come across on the slave ships. Many of us were really here. We're going to talk about that on another whole video. But I just want to talk about the things that we've been given and how we just acquiesce to just the things we've been given that we don't question. It's just amazing so we know that the program that they've been giving us is really strictly just that, a programming. Because it's amazing that my mother is 96 years old, and that song, Ring Around the Rosie, Mary Had a Little Lamb, Humpty Dumpty, little dumb things that they taught us. And I'm 65 years old. They taught us the same things. We get the same ones on TV. The wheels on the bus go round and round. This is the same stuff you're still seeing today. So you see, this is a programming. And so now my grandchildren are still doing the same thing. Mary Had a Little Lamb. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Itsy Witsy Spider went up the water spout. This is a programming that they have put in place, so we are all operating on the same narrative. You see what I'm saying? It's the same narrative. So, again, I always said that we're not being educated, we're being indoctrinated to be able to go by this system and this idea without us questioning it. Because, guys, there are so many things that go on that we don't question. And the reason why that these things go on is because of the fact that we don't question it. We have got to be a little more proactive in our own lives. Because we know that right now, they actually tell us about certain stuff, that, certain foods aren't good for us. They're putting bioengineered things into the foods, and that stuff is really real. But we don't question it. We just still, even though we know that these products have these certain foods and chemicals and so forth, we just still go buy them. But like, why? Why would you continue to buy it when you know it's not right? Like, why? Why is it that, when it comes to this education system that we have, we know for sure that our education, our schools are not as good. The quality of some of the books. Sometimes we don't even have books, certain enough books for our children. Why is it that we don't question that? Why is it that we don't do anything about these things? And so they do these things to us because we allow them. We allow them to continue to do things because they tell us that this is the problem, And then what do we do about it? You know, we have had enough incidences at maybe Starbucks, perhaps, I'm just using it as an example, that we need to stop going to damn Starbucks. We just need to stop doing it. The coffee ain't that damn good. You know, it's overpriced anyway. I mean, so we have to really start thinking about not just our individual selves. Well, you know, ain't nothing ever happened to me at Starbucks. You know, I like the coffee, blah, blah, blah. But it's not about that. We must come, this is the unifying that we must do as a people and do it for the collective. Because this is why that we're in some of the situations that we're in today, because we just continue to know that they don't do certain things for us, and we just accept that. No, we don't. We're not trying to just accept that. We want to be able to question things, make a difference. Why is it that, you know, even in the churches, you know, when you go to church, we know that the same scriptures are being taught. When you know stuff about the Bible, like some people who read the whole Bible, and they know the whole Bible, whatever. I'm just using as an example. But you know, you go to church. Like I'm just using as examples to show just generations that, you know, my mother in her 90s, me in my 60s, and then my children in their 30s. The same songs that they sing in the church are the same songs. And I know some things are customary, some things that, you know, there are like, you know, like our anthems or something like that. But still, when it comes to and that, those are songs. But when it comes to teaching, the preacher needs to teach more than just from these certain scriptures. He needs to teach more. Of more stuff that's in there, especially more stuff that's in there that's prevalent to us, because a lot of the story that's in there in the Bible is about us. But again, we just accepted that just the way it is. Why is it that we know that McDonald's uses horse meat? It was clearly all in the news that McDonald's was founded to use horse meat. We know for sure that the some of the Chinese stores are feeding, not using chicken, they're using cat and dog. But we still buy that shit. So this is why the things are the way we are, because we continue to just go along with their things, and we don't question it. Well, why don't we question these things? Why don't we question the system? It's just crazy how even to this day that we could still be pulled out of a car, and if we give up lip and so forth, that, you know, that we could possibly get beat up or get shot. And we know that they don't do that with others. I mean, so we have to speak up. We have to speak up, and we have to stand out. And I know it's like back in the day, they said that, you know, a lot of times people didn't do something. I guess most people have seen the movie called Roots, and how they would beat the brother. And he said his name is Kunta Kinte. They said, no, your name is Toby. And they beat him so bad in front of everybody. So that puts fear into everybody else, not wanting to just take any action, not wanting to do anything, because, you know, this is what's going to happen to you when you do it. I mean, but, you know, and I'm not trying to say to risk your life, but we do have to question things. I mean, sometimes when you will call, just say you may call a store, and, you know, you have an issue with, you know, a product that you bought or something like that, then if you question, they say, well, ma'am, you know, our policy is thus. But if there is a particular thing that you feel that still merits, you know, value, and you having to explain or ask questions about this situation that will make the outcome come out better for you, you don't have to accept the fact that they say, well, ma'am, this is how we do it. Well, you can just say, well, ma'am, okay, but the problem is that my such and such and such and such and such. I mean, it's just more of a conversation, but it's not just bowing down to what they're saying. You know, I mean, and so it's just frustrating that, you know, that we continue to be in this situation that we're in because we don't question stuff, and that we just go along. You know, it's so important that we are involved in our children's schooling. Sometimes we don't question what the teachers are doing. I mean, we just don't question shit. And that means that we're definitely living this mental slavery situation, because whatever they tell you to do is what we're doing. So do you understand? I'm not trying to offend anybody, but do you understand there is a process of mental slavery that has been that drives this system here in America? Well, not even America, all over the world. This whole system, because, you know, a lot of these politicians in these different country rulers, they are in cahoots. So there is a narrative that you are following, and it is mental slavery because you don't question it, and you just do what you're told. I mean, things can change. When going back to these things about the songs and the things that we're being taught, things can change because now they make changes. There's a new style for refrigerator. There's a new style for the stove. The washers and dryers got these other little compartments underneath them now, and now you can get stackable ones. If the products that they're making money off of us can change, why come some of the things why come some of the other things that are just the rules and regulations? Why come some of those things can't change? And they can change, but they're not changing because we don't question them. We just accept the fact that this is the way it is. We're told that this is the way it is. This is the way that they do it, and we don't question it. And we have to stop that. We have to question shit. We need to be able to be more involved in things that affect our own lives and to make a decision based on how this thing that you're doing, this place that you're going to, or whatever it is that you're doing, that you're involving yourself in, you have to think about how it's going to benefit you. Especially if you're paying your money. So when it comes to, just say for instance, when it comes to insurance, okay, maybe, you've been having the same insurance for a long time. But sometimes we have to go out and check and see if there is something else that may be a little more better fit for our needs. Somebody who's not really sick that much, it's no sense in them having a plan where your copay is a lot of money, because that means I'm not a copay, but someone shared the idea with me that it's not the copay, is that you have to spend this certain amount of money in order per year in order for you to click in and you to start receiving 80% off of your medical expenses. Well, somebody who's not sickly, who is a healthy person, that's not a good idea for them, because they're never going to meet that. They're never going to meet that height of spending that amount of money per year, because you're not one prone to go to the doctor. You just go get your little basic one or two appointments a year, and that's it. So you're never going to reach that. So if that's the only thing that your job or if it was somebody, whatever insurance you decide to do, then you need to search around and try to find something a little better for yourself. Especially like if it's something that your job offers, then just tell your job, no, I'm not going to use this insurance. You have to go find a different insurance. So you find things that's better for yourself, but it takes the time for you to do some research, some phone calls, some shopping around to do these things and say, are you worth it? Are you worth the time that it takes to research sometimes versus you just deciding that this is the way it is, or this is what was given to you, so you accept it? This is the thing about this thinking, y'all. It ain't illegal yet. We have to start thinking about how things can work out better for ourselves. And you have to just start, and I know it's they've kind of groomed us to be just self-sufficient and not, think you need anybody else. You're just doing your own thing. But, that's not what it's about. That's not what we need to be about. Because they surely stay together. You ain't never seen a Chinese man shop in no other racist store. Have you? I don't know. You see a Chinese man, he go to the grocery store, he ain't coming to no neighborhood grocery store. He going to his own grocery store. But this has something to do with it. But just the Chinese food that they sell you in their Chinese stores, that's not what they eat. Anyway, so I'm just here to just talk about that we must think, because it ain't illegal yet. We have to analyze things. We have to question things, because we know certain things. They tell us, but why do we accept it? I had a great thought the other day. It is known, let me see if my thought will come back. I guess maybe it's in reference to the situation about the food. It is known that some of these foods are really not good for us, but we just continue to eat it. And then we have to think. I know something that came up, that some of these fast food restaurants was doing something about a penny for a burger. $1 for a burger or a penny for a burger. Said they were celebrating their yearly something, I don't know how many years it is. But you better believe that, understand the capitalistic society that we live in, they're not going to do anything, no matter what they're celebrating and what they're doing, where they're not going to be making money. So you better believe that whatever the value is in this damn burger that's only going to cost $1 or cost a penny, they ain't giving up nothing. You better know that that's not going to be nothing good in that burger. And understand the fact that that right now that we've been told, that we know that sometimes they can put things in foods and it only targets a certain type of DNA. We already know that. We already know that. So when you get a little bug like that, everything that's cheap ain't good for you. Everything that's cheap ain't good for you. Value yourself and spend a little bit of money for the things that you need, because it's sad that, in order the food that's better for you costs more. Is that crazy or what? But let me just talk about one more thing before I get off of here, is that because this something's about to come up again. And I got telling everybody that, prepare yourself. Make sure that you'll start doing some things now, getting things in place to do some things to help you with your immune system. We already know that after this first pandemic happened, that we have been told that the things that we was getting, the little jab, whatever you call it, it really didn't work. It really did cause people to have blood clots. It really did make some people have, heart attacks or whatever, or I'm not sure what the issues were, but certain health issues. So they're coming along with something again. Okay, battery saver. They come. I gotta hang up. They come along with something again, and so I just want you all to think. I'm gonna hang up just because my thing is about my battery's dying. Sorry, but think it ain't illegal yet, y'all. Don't fall for the okie doke the second time. Question it. They already told you also when you sign a release that they're not gonna be responsible if you do have any type of medical problems. So think. Don't do it this time, y'all. Don't do it this time. All right, I'm gonna go right now because my battery's low. But thank you again. Peace and love, everybody. Have a wonderful day. God love you, and so do I.